Hey, look, y'all. I just started the video and I just realized I wasn't recording. So I'm only 2 minutes in. We ain't really missed much. This video just gonna be about how Rod Wave and his baby mama got into it. He basically shot her, some stuff going on, or he shot her Benz. And I don't know. Don't even ask how I didn't even start recording, but like I said, we better get straight back to it. And if y'all, I'm about to say, y'all look at me, I'm a little ashy. I just got out the shower, I just got off work. I'm about to start trying to upload every day, get back to it. Or I was just listening to some of my people talk. And it was like, you gotta stay motivated. Like, you gotta stay motivated. So I'm gonna try to upload as much as I can for y'all. And really for myself, because I actually like doing it. Sometimes I be getting caught up with work and it be throwing me off of everything I gotta do. But like I said, we just about to get straight into it. Y'all only missed the first 2 minutes. Ain't really much going on, so.
Turning with another realtor. They take pictures of the residence and open the garage door where a Mercedes G-Wagon parked. They were not seen taking anything from the home and eventually left.
You thought C++ was just C with classes?
Rod Wave's girlfriend, Minnie Barbie, whose real name is Manariah Andrews, can be seen pulling up in a BMW. Shortly after, Rod Wave and an unknown associate would pull up in an SUV. Rod and his associate could be seen carrying bags and what appeared to be a box from the residence while his girlfriend followed. While the surveillance footage had no audio, it appeared to detectives that Rod Wave was arguing with his girlfriend. She could be seen yelling at Rod, who in return pulled out a Glock 20 10mm pistol from under his left arm, opening fire at his girlfriend's G-Wagon that he bought her for Christmas. The same G-Wagon posted on her Instagram.
Like I said, it's crazy to think, because like I said right before the video started, like, you get all this money, all this fame, life is, it ain't always good because you got money and stuff, but life is a lot better. And you ready to crash out over something that a female might have said, that they might have said out of, just to say, like, sometimes I just gotta chill, like I don't know. Rod Wave going to jail over this. I think they said he got 13 felonies or something like that, so it's just crazy to think.
Detectives would count Rod shot 14 times until the weapon was empty. 11 bullets would strike the G-Wagon, 1 round struck Rod's Rolls Royce, and 1 round struck a wall, while the 14th bullet was never recovered. While Rod was shooting, his associate was unfazed, as if he knew it was going to happen. He just continued to place things from the house inside of the SUV. Rod's girlfriend, on the other hand, ducked down and ran inside of the house in fear. She'd then run from the house to a nearby neighbor, call her mother, telling her Rod Wave shot her car up, and telling her mom to call 911. Rod could then be seen on camera running through the front of the yard, as detectives believed he was now panicking, knowing his girlfriend went to the neighbors to call the police. Rod's associate would also seem to panic as they both jumped into the SUV, but their exit.
One thing I always heard since I was younger, make sure the girl you pick, especially a girl you're gonna have kids with, make sure the girl you pick is somebody you really can be locked in with. Like, these females, I heard they'd drive you crazy.
It was blocked
drive you crazy.
by Minnie Barbie's BMW. With Rod Wave driving, he'd reverse into the BMW in an attempt to push it out of the way, leaving his tires spinning.
And when I say Rod Wave literally crashed out, he literally crashed out. Not only did he shoot at her car, he got in the car and he crashed into another car.
Pulling back up to the garage, Rod's associate would shut the garage door to prevent the shot up G-Wagon from being seen. Rod would get out of the SUV while on the phone, and his associate would begin collecting shell casings. Rod would attempt to drive around the BMW, but ended up striking a staircase and blowing out his front tire, disabling the SUV. Getting out, Rod would grab shell casings near the windshield wipers, throwing them onto the stairs before calling someone else on his phone. Rod would lock the SUV, lock up the house, and leave through the back of the residence. Detectives would locate a damaged backyard fence leading them to believe 300-pound Rod Wave broke the fence while escaping through the back. Detectives were now confident they had
Bro was trying to hop the fence and broke it. That's crazy.
video evidence clearly showing Rod and his associate working together to alter the scene of a shooting, and later discovered Rod contacted his bodyguard to pick them up from the scene to avoid apprehension, while taking evidence from the scene to make it appear Rod was never there.
And it what's crazy is, like, you tried to delete the footage, but obviously we know they got the footage because they talking about it. But you shot your girl car 14 times, then you got in the car, tried to dip, crashed that car. So your manager pulled, I guess, both cars back into the garage. And then you went through the backyard trying to get away, and you broke the fence. Whole time you don't even know your girl called her mom to call the police on you. And oh yeah, and why you got out the car trying to go back, you then picked up shell casings.
And no crime happened other than a burglary. Due to this information, probable cause was found to arrest Rod Wave on charges of aggravated assault, pointing or aiming a firearm at another person, 2 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 2 counts of reckless conduct, 2 counts of criminal damage to property, 2 counts of obstruction of law enforcement, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, and conspiracy to commit a felony. Now, I don't think this should come as a surprise that one of the top artists making emotional music reacted emotionally to someone breaking into his mansion.
That's not necessarily true though. Like, I ain't think he is gonna crash out like that over something. Like, I know he makes some good emotional music, but I don't know, that's taking it a little too far.
But to shoot the shit out of his girlfriend's G-Wagon is a little bit over the top.
That's taking it a little too far.
We don't know if she was bitching his ear off on the phone and he just snapped. At the end of the day, he bought the car, most likely owns the car, and he didn't cause her actually any harm aside from what? Stress? The paperwork never stated he aimed a gun at her or threatened her with it, even though that's what he's been charged with. But Rod has Drew Findling behind him. You know, Dirk's lawyer, Young Boy's lawyer, meaning this shit is about to go away with a quickness, but Rod's girlfriend will play an important role. On the night the burglary took place, police
Let me listen a little bit more before I say what I gotta say.
responded to the mansion after receiving reports of a domestic dispute, with witnesses hearing yelling and screaming. Minnie Barbie was outside crying, as she was the one that discovered the home.
You know, when you think you hear something like outside of your house, like I'm the only person here, I have to take the headphone off to double check, make sure I wasn't hearing stuff.
Home had been broken into, with the safe in the basement being dragged across the floor before being emptied. The investigation revealed bullet casings, bullet holes, 2 shot-up luxury vehicles, a handgun, a broken window by the pool, and a hammer in a nearby bush. The scene resembled a fucking shootout, leaving detectives wondering.
Rod Wave got in a shootout with himself. And then on top of that, ain't Rod Wave a felon? Because he might not be. I don't know. I thought he was, though. But I don't really be keeping up with their lifestyle. So it might be, might not be. But for the police to pull up and look like, and they say it looked like you got into a shootout, but you was the only person there, it's kind of crazy.
And what actually took place, which led to the search warrant for the surveillance video. Now, Drew Findling would comment, only saying there is no truth to the charges. Rod Wave was a victim to a burglary and committed no crimes. How he was even charged as a result of this situation is incomprehensible, and this will absolutely be resolved in favor of Rod Wave.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Obviously, Drew isn't going to comment on the alleged surveillance video that's been recovered, but eventually that argument will come. Now, I find it highly disrespectful, being a big guy myself, that detectives assume Rod Wave broke the backyard fence by jumping over it. And if they had that on video, I ain't gonna lie,
If that video hit the internet, that'd be some funny shit to see. But I ain't even trying to clown Rod Wave because I'm a bigger guy myself, though. But I don't know, you gotta to be trying to jump a fence and you break it. That's kind of crazy.
It would have went viral, seeing Rod Wave jump a fence. But anyways, to hear that this happened and The detectives are alleging they have the video of him pulling out the gun, shooting up the car, and then covering up everything that took place. I'll say this. If a crime was committed, it isn't as serious as what he's been charged with. And if you've ever been locked up, you might have heard of the spaghetti effect. When you throw a plate of spaghetti at the wall, it slaps, it starts to come down, and eventually the majority of the shit hits the floor while a couple of things are still standing. And that's what I think is gonna happen with these charges. He's been hit with a bunch of charges.
Yeah, all these charges is probably gonna drop off because, like he said, the car is probably all belong to him. It was at his house. The only thing he probably gonna get is like shooting his gun at just shooting his gun. But other than that, the rest of those charges probably gonna fall off. Especially if his baby mama or the girl say, yeah, he was just tripping. All that stuff probably gonna fall off.
That are serious. But I think that his lawyer is going to pick them apart strategically in a manner in which, you know, maybe he gets probation, maybe he gets time served.
Yeah, but he definitely not walking away from it. He definitely gonna get some type of like probation or like they gonna hold him on something, but it ain't gonna be nothing crazy.
Community service, whatever. I don't know the statutes in Georgia, but firing a gun, discharging a firearm in public is a misdemeanor in Florida. The South has lenient laws. You know, the 4th of July, people just shoot guns off and shit. Maybe his lawyer will go that route. At the end of the day, he fired into something that he bought. You know, he bought the G-Wagon. And if you're a YouTuber and you're shooting guns on your property at shit you own, it's not that big of a deal, you know what I mean? But that's gonna be something for his lawyer to figure out. I don't think he caused harm or threatened his girlfriend. I think that if your home gets broken into, your safe gets ran through and emptied, we don't know how much money he lost, you're gonna be pissed, right?
Yeah, he definitely got the right to be pissed. Your house just got robbed. But, you know, allegedly he was shooting at his girlfriend, which if that's the case, bro, you gotta like chill out. But I feel like his lawyer gonna help him get away with this. I feel like it's an easy in and out case. He's not gonna get fully off, but he probably gonna get probation. But that's the best thing he can get out of this situation. But I'm about to upload this video today. It's the holidays, so I'm gonna catch up with y'all. And like I say, I got work later tonight, so I'll probably make another post when I get off. But I'm gonna catch up with y'all.